What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about why Canadians are so nice. I gotta admit, this video title intrigued me, confused me. I don't know. I didn't realize that there was just an answer to this question on a random YouTube video. Why Canadians are so nice. Oh, all in the convenience of a 5-minute video. Is there one particular reason? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, the blessing or curse of niceness? Like, the first Canadian, like, was cursed by some kind of niceness troll, and then from then forward, the nation of Canada was nice? Like, how can you offer just an explanation for why such a large group of people, a culture, is so nice? Maybe there is an explanation. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and there is like a tangible, reasonable explanation for why Canadians are nice. That is certainly an American stereotype of Canadians, that Canadians are very pleasant, nice, agreeable, all sorts of things like that. But apart from being just a stereotype, the more I have gotten to watch like Canadian YouTube and react to lots of videos with just genuine, common Canadian people, the more I am convinced that there is some truth in this stereotype, you can say, that Canadians do seem very nice, honestly. So, like I enjoy saying, it's not it's not the worst stigma to have, but according to this video, there is a reason or an explanation, and I hope that doesn't take some of the mystery and fun out of it all. But oh well, let's take a look.
Why Canadians are so nice. It's a cruel world, they say, but not if you visit Canada. In a materialistic era where good people are rare and mostly anyone will ever be polite to you for some personal gain, it's hard to encounter genuinely nice people.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know we were gonna get so philosophical, psychological. I don't even know. What what did she say? In an era when most people are only nice to you for personal gain. Dang. What a pessimistic, if not somewhat accurate depiction of life as we know it. Except in Canada.
Be polite to you for some personal gain, it's hard to encounter genuinely nice people. Such a world makes the Canadians stand out as one rare nation with generally good manners and a helpful nature, making
Oh, good manners. That's a good way of putting it. Good manners. I did watch, I remember randomly a video that was like, in Canada, don't you dare cut in line. Because that is just one of the worst things you can do. No one's going to yell at you, but they're going to stare at you and think things about you, about why you're being such a rude American, cutting in line. It's those types of just little things, though. Actually, those types of little things that, like, add up and make people, like, nice, actually. So, yeah. Canadians, if you do not cut in line, thank you. That is very polite.
them known for their niceness and public courtesy. A survey done by the Canada Project found 66% of its people to support this cliché, thinking they're actually as nice as the world deems them to be.
Oh, wait. That's actually pretty interesting. That was a survey taken by Canada, or an organization in Canada, where they asked Canadians, do you think that you are nice? That's a little bias. And but Canada didn't shy away from it, though. 66% are like, heck yeah, we're nice, and we know it.
The reasons for this positive attitude have long been speculated and debated, with many dismissing the notion as a mere stereotype.
Right.
Of course, generalizing a certain attribute over an entire nation makes it obvious that it is meant for most, not all. There could be mean Canadians, but the number of nice ones overrules them.
It's just some random guy. Ha! I'm the mean Canadian. Yes, but absolutely true. Like, anywhere in the world, you're going to find the nicest people, the meanest people. No matter where you go, like, there's the nicest and meanest person and everyone in between. I think what we're arguing here is that on average, the average Canadian is nicer than your average Earthling.
How nice are they?
Okay.
Juan Gavasa, an author on PanAmericanWorld.com, goes as far as saying Canada is to niceness as Saudi Arabia is to oil. Travelers to
Okay.
the country are mostly left raving about the positivity of its natives, except for
Right.
a select few who claim to have had less than ideal encounters.
Yeah, like if I ever read like comments on Canadian videos and stuff, it's always very, very, very nice, very polite, very supportive, all that stuff. So, that's kind of an anecdotal like experience, but in my experience, always so nice and supportive and kind. So that is not like the end all be all, but that is some proof in favor of the niceness claim.
Polite signboards and friendly locals have made the nice image of Canada even more accepted. Canadians also have interestingly been the butt of jokes since a long time for being too nice. Even arguments among Canadians have been noticed to be more polite than normal.
Huh.
Wise choice of words.
Yeah, just speaking on that point. Yeah, a lot of Canadian depictions in America are like, as far as jokes go, it's like, oh, Canadians have that Canadian accent, which doesn't really exist as much as Americans think. And Canadians are super nice, and their blood is replaced with maple syrup.
Canucks are generally known to think before they speak, one of the golden rules of society. Even if they aren't thinking, they're just used to minding their P's and Q's.
What did she say?
Golden rules of words. Canucks are generally
Canuck. I've heard that word. That's a Canadian thing. Canuck? Well, what does Canuck mean? Should I? I feel like I should know this. Canuck, she said. That's not a word for all Canadians, is it? Canuck. Meaning. Oh. Canuck shed its Hawaiian past, acquiring a new spelling, and began to mean a Canadian, particularly one who spoke French. Canuck. Canuck means a Canadian? A Canadian means a Canadian. I'm sorry, I'm processing this. It's like I've heard the word Canuck but never thought about it, or I never looked it up. Sometimes bearing a negative implication, more often wielded with pride. Oh, I hope it's not negative. Huh. Canuck. Okay. There were some conflicting reports in that little Google search. Apparently it has a Hawaiian root, but now just is a general, like, overall term for Canadians? A Canuck? I'm going to listen to her say it again.
more polite than normal. Wise choice of words. Canucks are generally known to think before they speak, one of the golden rules of society. Even if they aren't thinking, they're just used to minding their P's and Q's. Incidentally, Canadians frequently use words like awesome, amazing, and great. Such
Oh.
appreciative and motivational words could surely make someone's day.
Wow.
Moreover, these people have been observed to use somewhat neutral language instead of coming on strong with phrases such as could be and not bad.
Okay, is this like, oh, an error. Is this like based on data or something? Now we're literally talking about like, oh, Canadians as a whole don't tend to use aggressive language, and they use much more neutral and agreeable language when making statements and arguing. Is this like been studied or something? Or is this a fact? I would not be surprised if it's true, but I would be fascinated to know if this is like objectively been studied or something, like Canadians' use of certain words.
They are also profusely apologetic. Sorry is a staple in Canadian language. On the other hand, it is said that the Americans frequently use curse words and negative words like hate and damn. This
Oh.
negativity by the neighbors
Probably accurate.
makes the nation immediately stand out even more for its politeness. A happy, well-off nation.
Oh, okay. Is that one of the points? If, I bet Canada ranks I'm pretty sure it does rank very highly on overall citizen happiness. And when your population is happy, probably going to be nice. You know, I was skeptical going into this video that there were like actual objective reasons why Canadians are nice, but a lot of this is actually making logical sense, you could say.
If you're well fed and rich, you won't have a problem being nice.
If you're well fed and rich, you won't have a problem being nice. That belongs like on one of those wooden signs that you put in your kitchen as decor or something. True. True. Never a truer statement.
Off nation. If you're well fed and rich, you won't have a problem being nice.
Okay.
Niceness comes easy when you're one of the world's wealthiest countries, as in this case. This could be a stereotype, but it's also true in most, if not all, cases. The country, apart from its niceness, is also known for its maple syrup, Niagara Falls, low crime rates, free healthcare system, beautiful landscapes.
Wow. Yeah, these would all contribute to overall, like, happiness and well-being. Maple syrup, low crime, healthcare that is good, beautiful landscapes. That stuff actually that is meaningful.
Ryan Gosling and ice hockey, among other.
Ryan Gosling, yeah.
Free healthcare system, beautiful landscapes, Ryan Gosling, and ice hockey, among other amazing things.
Yeah.
According to HuffPost, there are over 8,000 businesses in Canada responsible for producing 80% of the world's maple syrup.
Right. I was shocked when I learned just how much of the world's maple syrup is produced and exported from Canada. It's like Americans have that association, and it turns out to be kind of for good reason.
Moreover, 3 of its cities, Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver, have been declared the most livable in the world thanks to their excellent education, low crime rates, and rich culture.
Wow.
For lovers of winters, pancakes, security, and kindness, the country seems ideal.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to act nice when surrounded by such positives? Living in such cheerful conditions could potentially be a mood lifter, making you sound cheery and be polite, even.
Indeed. Okay, so the great living conditions and overall happiness of Canada contributes to the overall willingness or just a tendency to be nice, be in a good mood. Okay, I can buy that.
To random passersby. The fragment theory.
Oh.
Lewis Hartz, an American scholar, put forth the fragment theory, which is an interesting approach to the origin of Canadians' nice nature.
Oh.
The theory suggests that since Canada has a colonial past, it still retains fragments of European societies, including their old world values and culture. This gives the nation a conservative streak that could account for the courteous nature of its inhabitants.
Okay.
Warm people braving the cold together.
Because of European roots. Those European roots somehow connect to like super happy ancestors that has kept going through the culture? That's the theory? Okay.
Being a cold desert in itself, temperatures as low as -40 degrees are not unheard of in Canada. With
Yeah.
such conditions outside, being nice and looking out for each other comes as a natural instinct for mutual survival. If you're
You would never see this image in America. People walking about normally in a snowstorm like this, unheard of. The streets would be empty.
being nice and looking out for each other comes as a natural instinct for mutual survival. If your car breaks down in the winters on a snowy night, you could be in major trouble if no one decided to help you. Hence, Canadians could just have a deep-rooted habit of helping each other instead of just ignoring any strugglers and moving on, which could have originated as a survival mechanism.
Wow, wait. The climate and the snow and overcoming the uncomfortable and, I don't know, adversary of living in those conditions and people like needing help from each other has promoted like a culture of, oh, let's help each other, let's work together. Okay, I can see that. Okay.
You won't survive if you aren't nice. This perspective makes Canadian niceness come off as a necessity rather than a merely pleasant social attitude. Neighboring an overbearing country.
Okay, so before we get niceness is needed in Canada to survive. That's there we go. Now we're really getting into like the nitty-gritty animalistic natural reasons for niceness. You got to be nice to survive. There we that's why.
Rather than a merely pleasant social. This perspective makes Canadian niceness come off as a necessity rather than a merely pleasant social attitude.
Haha.
Neighboring an overbearing country. The country is
Oh,
located just next to the world's superpower, America. Pierre
what? What? Oh, what a title. Neighboring and overbearing country. Who are they talking about? Who? Who are they talking about? What do they mean?
The country is located just
Oh,
next to the world's superpower, America. Pierre Elliott Trudeau, late former Canadian Prime Minister, once deemed living next to the U.S. similar to sleeping with an elephant. This implies that you can expect it to roll over and crush you any time.
oh,
It has led some people to believe that the mystery of Canada's mostly unexplained niceness stems from a timid behavior in response to its powerful neighbor, although this opinion has not gained much popularity, especially among the Nationals.
yeah, I don't know about all that. Maybe the better argument here is like, since Canada gets to observe America and Americans, they're like, that I don't want to be like that. I want to be like a scooch more kind and like maybe less loud and just more like communal and agreeable. Maybe that's like maybe there's an argument for that. I'm not even sure if that has any truth. Like Canada making decisions about like the niceness of the Canadian culture. I'm not sure if that's like a conscious decision. It's like you're as a nation, as a people, it's like on the whole how you treat each other, how you're raised, like that's just deep-seated and enrooted and ingrained as like a great thing that happens and is taught in Canada, and that's hard to quantify. And definitely you can't just say like, oh, Canada looked at America and then decided to become nice because they're being timid, or I'm not sure that makes like complete sense. But anyway, let's continue.
Nelson Wiseman, a Canadian studies specialist, also brings to attention the fact that America values the individual more, hence making Americans being perceived as more selfish. The Canadians, being immediate neighbors, automatically look good in comparison with their altruism and collective nature. Another great
Yeah. Like I said, maybe Canadians like look at America and Americans and are like, it's good that we act how we act. Civil. Kind. Not that there aren't kind Americans. I like to think that there are a couple here.
great difference is the possession of weapons. The Canadian government has zero tolerance for guns as opposed to its more liberal neighbor. With all the above said, it is safe to assume that Canada may be a diverse nation with a blend of American, British, and French cultures, but niceness is one thing most Canucks seem to have in common. It is still a topic of much debate whether they are actually as nice as they are projected to be, but even if it is a stereotype, it has to have a somewhat factual basis.
There's still a debate on whether Canadians are nice. It's like you travel to Canada and randomly you just run into the meanest, worst Canadian in all of Canada, and you're like, it was a lie. This was a lie. Canadians stink. They're mean, and you just leave. That's why anecdotal like evidence is kind of like out the window. It's like there needs to be some kind of study here. But at the beginning, they kind of mentioned Canadian organization was polling Canada for like a large amount of like data points on all this. So there apparently are some studies on this.
The thought that there are still nice people left in the world is comforting in itself, so it doesn't hurt to assume that the nation has some good people.
Yes.
This video was made possible by Dashlane. Stay
Whoa.
safe online with...
Whoa. Oh, we jumped to another video already. Jeesh, that ended really quickly.
Why?
Okay. Very nice. This was by X Reasons. And I liked this. This was a lot like... It was interesting. I think it was more entertaining and had many more good points than I gave it credit for at the beginning. I was skeptical. I was like, can you really just say why Canadians are nice? Is that possible to quantify? There were some good points in here. There were some good points. I liked it. Any comments? Any comments here maybe about Canadian niceness? Canadians say sorry so much that a law was passed in 2009 declaring that an apology can't be used as an evidence of admission to guilt. Wow, is that true? That's funny. That makes a lot of sense. if you're just saying sorry by reflex, or because it doesn't have the same meaning as saying you're guilty in Canada. You're just saying sorry to be polite. So I can actually see that being real. Once I was driving through snow, my car got stuck. I was going to call a towing company, but before I could do that, 6 strangers offered to help me. They would stay for at least 15 minutes helping me. Wow, I live in Canada. Yeah. I mean, in my experience, that's not what I see happening in my life. Like, throughout my lifetime, seeing cars stuck in snow, that's not what I've observed. So, again, another point in favor of Canada there. Willing to actually help, interact with you, and be like, are you okay? Do you need help? That's very nice. That's really nice. I'm moving to Canada when I'm older. America is too rude for me. I also love pancakes with maple syrup. Thanks, Canada. Okay. Great. Okay. That's pretty good. I liked this. I didn't know what I was gonna get out of this video, but I feel like I got something. I am pretty well convinced that Canadians are nicer than the average person. And I didn't know if there was like any evidence like in favor of that, but this video actually kind of suggested that there is, and just like lots of good points for why it's true. So very cool. I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian culture, stuff in Canada that I have never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.